of Catan't Even, where we talk about conspiracy theories, current events, and whatever else pops into our minds, all while playing one of our favorite games, Catan. I'm Katie, and I will be the moderator for this week. Today, our players are Maegan, Ben, CJ, and Jasmine. Today, we are playing the Heading for New Shores board. The same rules apply from last episode. However, if you forgot or are new, you can check down in the show notes for a brief explanation. I do believe that this board, when you go to new islands, again, you still get the 2 additional victory points.
That is correct.
Our game players need 14 victory points to win.
This one has the gold mines.
Yes, they do have the gold mines.
Gold mines.
Which, if you are so lucky to build a settlement on them, you get a resource of your choosing. And if you have like a city, you get 2 resources of your choosing. Basically, it's just like a free spot.
So I'm really bad when I actually play this game because I'm always like, I need to go to the gold mines because I'm going to win the game if I touch the gold mines. But I never do. And I'm usually very unsuccessful. So I don't know why I still try that.
There's always like a 2 on the gold mines.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really depends on what number ends up on the gold mines.
Even when it's a good number and I make it there, usually the robber's on me. So I usually don't benefit from it. It's usually just a waste of my time. But again, I'm not playing, so it's fine. So y'all waste your time on the gold mines, not mine.
All right. So are we ready to start the game?
Born ready.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. Let's see where y'all are going to place your pieces. I actually really miss playing. Maybe next week I'll get to play.
Maybe.
I can't possibly manage these outrageous topics and playing. It's just too much for my brain to handle in these times of uncertainty.
Oh, wow. I'm actually
Katie, I'm
green this
red.
time.
That's my color.
I am still my usual magenta.
Well,
I
naturally.
am also blue. I was going to say it's because I turned off the timer this time.
Probably.
Yeah, I think that had a lot to do with it.
Did y'all want to take bets tonight and see how long Ben's going to stay in before he gets kicked off? The first week we did this, he got kicked off after what, like 2 or 3 rounds?
Yeah, I think it was 3.
Something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then last week, we're like, let's take bets again on Ben. And then he won the game.
Yeah, he did.
Please take bets on me.
Please. I will not, because I was like, you're going to get out after a couple rounds. And then you were in the whole time and you won.
Well, we'll see. My roommate is downloading Rise of the Tomb Raider on our PS4 right now, so our internet is not the greatest.
Oh,
So I might get kicked off. We'll see.
Well, that's fun.
I see.
That's okay.
Do I need to do anything?
No, it's CJ's turn.
No, it's CJ's turn.
It's my turn. I'm trying to decide which space I want to start on.
Sorry, y'all. I slept for like an hour last night, so my brain is absolutely mashed potatoes.
Aw, my brain is always mashed potatoes, so
It's all
that's
good.
fine.
I also had issues sleeping last night. Like, I actually had to sleep on my couch because I couldn't sleep in my bed for some reason. It was odd.
I'm sorry, CJ.
Oh, it's fine.
I'm starting turn 1. Rolled a 9.
Oh, we did not
Oh.
get a 7.
No, just wait. That'll be the next round.
Yikes.
Oh, did we put bets on Ben?
We did not.
Oh, no, we didn't.
I want to say 7 rounds.
Whoa.
I'm going to say 6
I
rounds.
want to say he makes it through the entire game.
That was going to be my guess.
Ah, that's ambitious.
That's ambitious.
I'm not going to take bets because I was wrong.
Well, round 1.
It happens. Can't win them all.
Ain't that the truth?
I wish I had coffee right now. I'm so tired.
We have coffee.
Oh, there it
yes.
is.
7!
There it is.
No, I had 2 coffees today and it's not doing it. No, I had 3 coffees. I forgot I made an instant coffee. Oh, no.
We are on coffee number 3, I think.
Coffee number 3. Yeah, we got our standard Panera coffee this morning and this afternoon. And then I felt like, well, we decided collectively that it was important to have more coffee that was not Panera. So we went on a fun adventure to go get Starbucks. And we didn't go to
7.
Here we are.
We haven't even made it all the way around the board once and we've rolled 2 7s.
Yeah. So
Collectively, you decided, as a whole family,
Oh,
the both
yeah.
of you, both the dogs and both the cats.
yes,
All six of you
us.
decided.
that we needed to get Starbucks. So the Starbucks that we normally go to is their hours are much shorter than they would be before COVID. We didn't go there. We went to the other Starbucks pretty close to us, and we pulled up and they had a "sorry, we are temporarily closed" sign in their drive-thru.
My Starbucks did that twice so far during COVID.
Yeah, I've had mine do that too.
After that one, we're like, well, let's go to this other one. And they also had the "sorry, we are temporarily closed" sign in the drive-thru.
Oh, no.
And so then we found one that we could order from and go in the store and get. I didn't realize that they were doing that yet. Like, I didn't think you could go in the store.
Yeah, they didn't really publicize when they were going to start opening their inside for the mobile orders. So. But I mean, mine does the same thing, but it's like you can only go in there if you ordered ahead and then you leave.
Well, I couldn't go inside because I was wearing my trashy basketball shorts because I didn't think that we were going to get out of the car. But Maegan went inside to go pick up our drinks, and there were people sitting inside. Like, someone was knitting or crocheting or something. And
oh, wow.
They said other people were working on the computers. I didn't think that was allowed yet. I didn't think you could dine in.
That's so weird.
I wonder if it's because it is a dine-in Starbucks. It's not a drive-through Starbucks. I don't know. It's also rather large in there.
Anybody have any clay?
No, I think we all
That's
need
a
that.
negative ghostwriter.
I think everyone needs clay right now, and no one has it.
Exactly.
Does anybody have any sheep?
Negative,
No.
also.
That's a negative ghostwriter.
Do we all just have the same stuff?
Yes.
That's a positive ghostwriter.
I'm going to do something I never do, and I'm going to buy a development card.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
Those can be
interesting.
Literally never do this. Oh, of course.
So for our listeners, if you have no idea what Catan is, there are development cards that you can buy instead of building a road or a city or whatever. And they each have different little things on them. Like, you can get knights, which is how you get the largest army, or sometimes they're special victory point cards and you just add 1 victory point to your total. And there's a couple other ones. I love development cards, and games where I actually get them, I feel like I do much better than the games where I'm like, no, I don't need that. I don't know. I also think I'm just not very good at strategizing in this game, which is funny because it's a strategy game and I'm not good.
You also win most of the time.
That was 2 years ago. Real fast, before we forget, Maegan, do you want to tell us anything about our patrons?
Yes, I do. I want to thank Cynthia and KRVGN. So they are our 2 patrons so far, and I'd really like to thank them for supporting us already without there actually being an episode released yet.
Yeah,
Yay.
episode 1 drops tomorrow.
So
As of the time we
As
are
of recording time.
anyway.
Yes.
Yes. By the time you are listening to this, we'll already
It will
have
already
2
be out.
episodes out. So we decided, because last week we talked about the Denver International Airport, and there are a lot of really creepy conspiracies and things behind that airport. I'm still kind of creeped out by it, not going to lie. But one of the more outrageous stories was that lizard people, reptilian humanoids, are living in the underground bunkers underneath the airport.
But what's even better is on Nextdoor, after we decided that our topic was going to be reptilian humanoids or lizard people, there was a post on our Nextdoor in our area that said reptilian neighbor. And I was like, no, it is not.
They are everywhere.
They're real.
You already have the lady in white,
Oh,
and now you've
God.
got this.
It was about a snake, but still, I was what are the odds that someone would say that after we decided we were going to talk about reptilian humanoids?
Does anybody have any sheep?
Do you have clay?
I do.
I'll trade you a sheep for clay.
Okay. You know why there aren't any sheep in circulation really right now, don't y'all?
Because we're not rolling 9s.
Well,
Because of the lizard people.
no. Okay, well, no. Because there's a 6 on a sheep, and I'm on that 6.
That
But
makes
I'm on the
sense.
9 for the sheep, and we're still not rolling them.
Longest road, y'all.
Congrats.
It's already
Yeah.
started,
Yeah, we started the game like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
you
already
are-
made it through 4
Okay.
rounds.
but
Try 20.
everyone else
Yeah.
has 2 or 3 victory points, and Ben's like, I have longest road. Whatever. I'm not playing. I don't care.
Yeah, well, we're not really rolling the numbers that I'm on, so.
Reptilian humanoids. This is a conspiracy theory that there are shape-shifting
Oh,
aliens that have been breeding with humans for centuries.
Those are just called drag queens.
I think RuPaul would be very offended by you. Anyway, so these are shape-shifting aliens that have been breeding with humans for centuries in a plot to take over the world and have complete dominance over humans.
Okay, so real quick though, I have to ask about Catan't. So no one has clay or sheep they're willing to give me for wood.
That is correct.
That's correct.
Okay, just had to make sure.
Again, before we start, my goal is not to offend anyone or make fun of anyone for their beliefs. I very, very strongly... Oh, CJ. CJ just took along this road.
And now
You
he
have
has
8
8 victory points.
I'm
What
on
the
a roll.
heck?
I very, very firmly believe that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And if this is something you believe in, have at it. That is great. We are not here to make fun of anyone. I am just giving the information about this topic to our listeners and to my friends while they play Catan. So this idea has been around for a really long time. You can see proof of this, I guess, in ancient civilizations. I only selected 2 to briefly discuss because that's what I did. So in ancient Egyptian civilization, they actually had a god. His name is, I think it's Sobek. It's Sobek. And he was the lord of crocodiles, and he had a crocodile head and a human body. He was often associated with fertility, and he actually was said to possibly have created the Nile River. So ancient Egyptians would worship him for fertility of their people and for their crops and to appease crocodiles, kind of how cats were seen as sacred. That's kind of how crocodiles were also. And there's actually lots of crocodile mummies that have been found in many different Egyptian tombs. This is not a new thing. This has been around for a long time. And then the other ancient civilization that had a similar thing was Southern and Southeastern Asian cultures. They have something called Naga, spelled Naga. And those were a semi-divine race of half serpent, half humans that could take the form of typical humans. So they did do some shape-shifting even in these ancient cultures. And they were known for their strength, wisdom, and their good looks.
Ooh, those good looks.
Sexy lizard people.
Yes. And there are actually several Indian dynasties that claim to be descendants from these lizard serpent people. So yeah, this is not a new idea. Also, this has obviously been around in science fiction and fantasy. There's been, a ton of books throughout the 20th and 21st century. The earliest book that I actually found that talked about this dates back to the 1880s. It was called The Secret Doctrine by Helena Blavatsky, and it referred to dragon men and their mighty civilizations.
Oh.
People also attribute these reptilian humanoid lizards to being behind secret societies, and they're supposedly the force behind the Freemasons and Illuminati, groups like that. This is one of the more outrageous ones that I found, and y'all can give me your thoughts in a second. Before this became popular in like modern conspiracy theorists and stuff, a lot of people also tied this to the Bible. And theorists argue that there are many verses in the Bible that refer to reptiles and serpents. And I did find a website that literally just like listed a bunch of verses that had the word reptile or serpent in it. And I was like, okay, all right. And they also say that this could possibly even refer back to Adam and Eve when they were in the Garden of Eden. And, the snake was like, Eve, eat the apple. And she was like, okay. So people are like, maybe.
That's exactly what happens. If you go to Genesis, that's a direct quote.
Yes.
She goes, I
Bet.
But yeah, so maybe that serpent was actually a reptilian humanoid in the Bible. Maybe that is why our civilization has been screwed since then, because of lizards. I don't know. Anyway, this modern theory of lizard people came from, well, I guess the founder of the modern theory. His name is David Icke. Has anyone heard of him by any chance?
No, I
Not
have
before this.
No.
Okay. David Icke. He claims to be a New Age philosopher. He's a conspiracy theorist. Actually, he is a former British football player and a sports announcer for the BBC. So I guess I felt like it was important because he's not that he's like necessarily a common household name, but he's like been in public eye before because of sports and the BBC and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's not
he's
just
not an
like,
unknown.
Right. So I felt like that was important to say. He's relatively successful. I mean, he's definitely way more successful than I am. He's written over 20 books on various theories, and he's lectured in more than 25 countries about his ideas and theories. Props to him. Just to kind of paint a picture of who David is, I'm going to tell you some of the various conspiracies that he believes in and what he writes books about or, lectures about. He believes climate change is a hoax. He is supposedly anti-Semitic and a Holocaust denier. However, he does say, no, that's not true. But I did find several articles that kind of pointed towards that. So I guess take that with a grain of salt. He believes there are multiple dimensions in the universe. And actually, he says that reptilians are not only from another planet, but they are also from another dimension.
Elon Musk also believes in like multiple dimensions, though. It's not just this guy. That is like pretty common, especially among like the uppers of the uppers. I'm like, what are they not telling us?
It's because they're lizard people, obviously.
I mean, I would believe in multiple dimensions. I mean, I've seen the
That Space
Avengers.
Stone.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, so those other conspiracies maybe paint a picture of the type of person that he is. I'm not going to give you my opinion on that, but you can come to your own conclusion based on those other conspiracies that he believes in. He also has a website. I think it's just davidike.com. So if you want to know more about him, like feel free to go to his website. Where did this modern day theory of reptilian humanoids actually come from, David? Well, he wrote a book in 1999, the 90s, yes, called The Biggest Secret.
I have longest road. I'm sorry, I had to interrupt.
Ooh, oh, CJ, you lost it. Good job, Maegan. So this book that he wrote in the late 90s talks about reptilian humanoids, and he says they are from the Alpha Draconis star system. Well, and like I said earlier, they're also from another dimension. They hide and they live in underground bunkers, like we heard in the last week's episode about the Denver airport. And that they are, like I said earlier, they're behind the worldwide conspiracy against humanity. Like they want us to be gone. They do not like us.
Same.
He also claims that most ancient and modern leaders are related to reptilians. And that he says that they have actually been breeding with humans for 200,000 to 300,000 years. They've been around a lot longer than
here.
They have been here way longer
How
than,
could it be 300,000 years if the year's only 2020?
Shut up. You make my brain hurt. Go away.
Bye. Please,
Oh my
God,
gosh.
someone tell me that they want some stone. I have 6 of them. Someone please take some.
I can give you
I'll
a
take
wood for
one.
a stone.
I have clay.
Here, I will trade both of you.
So David wrote this book and he has a huge following. Like, I'm going to tell you at the end how many people actually believe this and you'll be like, nuh-uh. And then later he wrote another book because he already told us about reptilians. He wrote another book called Human Race, Get Off Your Knees. The Lion Sleeps No More.
What?
And that was written in 2012. And he is saying it is time for humans to take back control of the world. It's time. Like, we need to get rid of these lizards. And he explains ways that the reptilians are controlling us and how they have basically created a false reality that we all live in. Our interpretation of the world that we live in is all lies. All lies. For example, there are holographs that are put in place by the reptilians to like make us believe things that aren't actually there. The moon and Saturn specifically are just holographic images that reptilians broadcast so that we believe these other planets and other like celestial bodies exist. So they don't exist.
But only those two things, not like others. So only the moon and Saturn, not like Mars or Venus.
That is what I read. Now, the book might say all of them. I don't know. I didn't read the book. I didn't want to read the book. I chose not to read the book.
That was probably a good choice. Just thinking.
This stuff gets dark real fast. So I did not want to read more than I felt was necessary. He's got all these ideas and he has made this very popular and he is very much like tries to be in like mainstream media. he is, I mean, if you talk to any conspiracy theorist, they probably know David. He's been on talk shows, including InfoWars. So I don't know how much we can trust him based on that.
Oh, because everything else up to this point we could trust.
Yes.
But the InfoWars, that took it too far.
But currently, as of April and May of this year, of 2020, his pages have been removed from Facebook, and his YouTube channel has been taken down because he's spreading false medical information about the virus. And I believe his podcast was also removed from Spotify. And I think Apple is also trying to remove it because he's talking about COVID-19 and he's...
Yeah, Apple has very strict, you can do this, but you can't do this. And you can't, one of them is spread false information. There's also another right-wing person that got banned from Apple Podcast.
But you know who is on Apple Podcast?
Who? Us. They're going to ban us too because they're going to be like, why are you talking about this? So that's David. He's the person behind this modern theory of these reptiles. And now you're like, okay, so whatever. He talks about these people in his books. But how do you spot a lizard person? Do y'all know how?
Their eyes.
By their tongue.
No, it's their eyes.
Their eyes is one of them.
Is it by their reptile tail?
Okay, I'm going to tell you all these physical characteristics of these lizard people. And then y'all are going to think about it. And then I'm going to tell you some other odd behaviors or feelings from lizard people. And then we're going to decide which of the five of us is a lizard person.
I think this is perfect.
Yes.
Statistically, one of us has to be, correct?
Yes, we must be. Okay. Low blood pressure, random scars. When they smile, their bottom teeth show. I'm not going to lie. I spent 5 minutes trying to smile showing my bottom teeth and it didn't work. So, good luck.
You're just describing Mitch McConnell.
Exposed.
We are not there yet.
Hashtag exposed. Who do you think we could expose as a lizard person on this podcast tonight?
We are not there yet, Benjamin.
It's me, guys.
Sorry.
I'm the
Okay,
lizard
keep going.
person of the group.
So, the smile where your bottom teeth show. Your eyes, like Ben said, your eyes, they have green, hazel, or blue eyes, and they can change color at any time. They also have abnormally large pupils, and their eyes can just change size whenever.
I still say CJ.
We're not done yet.
I do have...
You have to let me read all the characteristics, and then we get to decide.
Right, yes.
Okay.
Correct.
They have really good hearing and vision, and also many are known to have red hair. So,
oh no, it's
so
me.
Ben or Katie?
Well, I have red undertones, and I have green eyes.
It's important to say that many really diehard believers say that you can't actually identify a reptilian based on their physical characteristics because they're really good at hiding it. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, you would never know that my dad is the Geico gecko.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Did I break everybody?
You broke Katie.
And me.
She's yes, you have broken two people.
Sorry, y'all.
Good thing we have these mute buttons.
But have I told you about how you can save 15% on your car insurance?
We use Geico. I love Geico. We have a really great experience with them. Thank you, Ben's dad.
Wait, but does he actually work for Geico?
No, my dad works for Jesus.
So we interrupted this laugh fest. Does anybody have sheep or wheat for real?
No, I don't. But now we are even more broken.
A few moments later.
All right, so I gave you these physical characteristics. Other behaviors and things that may lead to someone believing you are a reptile. Reptilian humanoids have a deep love of space and science. They might have a sense of not belonging to the human race. They are emotionless and cold. They secrete an odd odor after eating meat. So typically they stick to a vegetarian diet. And then my favorite one is that lizard people also really hate cats.
So basically I fit a lot of these molds.
Do we get to say who we think are lizard people?
Yeah, let's go around the virtual table. Maegan, who do you think at our virtual table is a lizard person?
Oh, I'm gonna guess CJ, unless the animals count.
No, the animals don't count.
Okay, then CJ.
Okay, Ben, who do you think is a lizard person?
I like how Maegan had to ask because otherwise the answer would have been Cairo.
Well, naturally, but
Yes, that is the answer. That is the actual answer, but
Except it's lizard people. not lizard entities. So
Right. I didn't read anything about them shape-shifting to other animals, only shape-shifting to humans. So keep that in mind as you
Right.
decide around our virtual table who the lizard is.
But Cairo is a person. Have you ever seen her sit at the table?
That's true.
True. All right. So Ben, not including the furry animals, who do you think is a lizard person?
Based on the physical description, I would have to say myself, but I love cats. And also, I know I'm not a lizard. And that's that on that.
But that's what a lizard person would say.
That's exactly what a reptilian humanoid would say. You also said that your dad works or is a Geico gecko, so I don't know.
Genetics.
I say a lot of things.
CJ, moving on. Who do you think the lizard is?
It's me.
Oh, okay.
Surprise.
Just being straight up there.
Actually, I think it would be Ben over me.
Oh. Jasmine, who do you think the lizard person is?
I also think it's CJ. But if I had to choose a runner-up, it would be Ben.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I think the lizard person is CJ.
See, like,
Because you fit more of the characteristics than Ben. And Ben loves cats and CJ hates cats. So
Just kidding. The C in CJ stands for Cobra. Cobra Jans.
Yes.
oh my gosh, that has been a thing since our college days, and it will never go away, and that's fine.
but I really think the lizard is CJ. Okay, so this is like the physical, things that you can look for. And I was like, okay, but like, okay, is there proof? Like, and y'all, there is proof.
There's proof CJ's a lizard humanoid.
Well, not CJ or Ben, but there's proof that they exist. And again, I will let you make your mind up on this one. Supposedly, there's video proof, and YouTube is just filled with videos of people shapeshifting and of physical proof that they exist.
Like them in the act of shape-shifting.
Yes. And I watched 2 videos, actually. These theorists also say that if you were to slow down or pause certain videos, you can actually see them shapeshifting, or you can see their eyes. Typically, it's their eyes changing in the videos. But, naturally, skeptics are like, if, that's just glitches or compression artifacts. Like, for example, if you were to pause a VHS tape, for all of us here that are old enough that had VHS tapes, sorry, Jasmine, I know that you're a fetus.
Yeah. DVDs and Blu-rays is where it's at.
But so for the other couple of us that are old, do you remember like when you pause a VHS tape, it kind of like has that weird, almost like shaky look? I don't really know how to describe it. I actually watched 2 videos, and one of them was kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. It was kind of weird. It was of Vice President Biden, because he is supposedly a lizard person, and it showed a close-up of him at a State of the Union address. His eyes look kind of funny, but then at the same time, I was like, well, I mean, it's age. Like, he's got wrinkles. That's why his eyes look funny. But maybe I'll find the videos and send them to y'all. So, okay. So I told you I told you who they are, the origins of them. I told you who made them famous, and I told you how to spot them. So now I'm going to tell you specific people that are famous reptilian. Are you ready?
Yes.
All U.S. presidents.
All of them.
Yes, all of them.
Every single one.
But there was an emphasis on our most recent. So the entire Bush family, they're all lizards. The entire Clinton family, supposedly. Obama.
I've seen a video of Hillary with her eyes.
Yeah. Obama and Biden. Now, I watched the video of Biden, and Obama has a video, and you can find it. It was on the news, where he is doing an interview, and he swats a fly away, and you
actually
with his tongue.
He hits it, and you see it on the ground. And the news, whoever was doing the interview, they actually did a close up of the dead fly on the ground. So
of course they did, because the news doesn't want to pay attention to what Obama's actually saying. They just want to focus on the cool thing that he did.
I think it says it all in that video. I mean, he swatted a fly. He had really great reaction time, and he killed that fly.
I'm sold on it, honestly. Based on that one factoid alone, I'm sold on the idea.
But okay, so this is the one part that I couldn't really find a definite yes or no answer. Maybe, Ben, you can fact check and find me. Now, some people say Trump is a lizard person, but David Icke says no way that he is not a lizard person. I read several interviews that he does not like him. Like, they do not like each other. They do not get along. Ike is like, nah, he's not a lizard person. Like, he is not worthy enough to be a lizard person.
I was going to say, because he doesn't like him, he can't be a lizard person.
I guess. I don't really have an answer for that.
Y'all don't trade CJ for the weed.
I'm not
He's
going
gonna
to.
win.
I know.
He only needs 2 more points.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's trying to build a settlement on that 8 to get those victory points from being on a new island. Oh, he's doing it anyway. Oh, no, he's not.
No, he ended his turn.
So I don't know. Maybe y'all can find something else about Trump, but I couldn't find anything about him actually for sure being a lizard person. Like I said before, ancient Egyptian pharaohs, Sumerian kings, supposedly. There's been multiple Canadian and British prime ministers who have been lizard people. Queen Elizabeth is like the hands down most fabulous.
Lizard bit.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
she's basically been around since like they
I
started
hate you, Ben.
theorizing about this anyway.
Yeah, she was there in
Okay,
ancient
that's
Egypt
very
looking at Sobek.
upsetting.
You know
I'm
what?
interrupting because I literally just traded for that wheat. Jasmine stole it from me.
Yikes.
Sorry,
Man,
CJ.
that sucks, especially when you were about to win.
It's
Maybe
fine.
you shouldn't be trying to win,
I
CJ.
will. I'm just playing the game.
You always
Have
say
you tried
that.
to get good?
Clearly, I am good.
It's because you're a lizard.
Duh.
You're a lizard, Harry.
I want that to be the title of this week's episode.
Yes.
I second that.
So other I was gonna say I'm down for Queen Elizabeth to be the ultimate supreme leader. Like, I think she'd be fantastic at it. Like, I 100% support her. And then also there are celebrities, and typically it's always very famous A-list celebrities that are accused of being lizard people. Some of the ones that I read about, and funny, most of these are women. Madonna, Katy Perry, Miley Cyrus, and Angelina Jolie are just a few of the big names that are most definitely lizards. And then one of the more recent ones is Mark Zuckerberg.
I believe it.
There is actually an interview of him recently whenever Facebook started doing their Facebook Live thing, and someone asked him, "Are you a lizard?" And he was like, I am not a lizard. He was very upset about it.
Again, that's what a lizard would say.
He does have those big eyes, though. So.
What big eyes you have.
Those are just some of the big names that I read about. I'm sure that there are more, but
CJ's about to win.
I mean, obviously CJ wasn't on the list, so this is not a complete list.
Oh, I'm not famous, so
What's that celebrities? So.
Well,
exactly.
okay. This has been a little silly of a topic, but who believes in this? All that coffee's
Like,
getting stuck
of
in my throat.
us?
No.
Who of us believes?
Like, well, do y'all believe in lizard people? Let me ask
100%.
you.
Yeah, no, not really.
No, yes, no, maybe.
I had read at some point 4% of all American voters believed that they were lizard
We're about
people.
to get there. Are you ready?
I saw that as well.
It was actually a 2013 public policy poll, and they found that 4% of Americans believe in reptilian humanoids, and 7% of Americans are unsure. So they could. They're like, well, maybe. And that comes out to roughly 12 million Americans believe that reptilian humanoids exist.
I got longest road and kept CJ from winning, at least for now.
Whoa.
Bless you. 12 million?
That's
So-
a lot.
I was looking up
That's more people than in the state of Wyoming.
I was looking up the population of some different states and countries and cities and whatnot. And to equal the number of Americans that believe in lizard people, we'd have to multiply Austin 12 times, at least 12 times.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So we'd have to have 12 cities of Austin. We would have to have 12 states of Delaware and Rhode Island to equal the number of Americans that believe in this. I believe it was 4 Houstons.
Oh, dang.
You would have to have 24 Wyomings.
See, that's crazy. That's a lot of people. But you know what? I was also surprised how many people believe the earth is flat. I had no idea.
Yeah, those were some shocking numbers, too.
Right. Like, I had no idea 12 million people believed that there were lizards running the country and living underground. Like, well, not real lizards. Of course, there's real lizards, but alien lizards. Because really, these are just aliens. I don't know.
Aren't we all?
I mean, yeah. opinions.
I personally do not believe in lizard people. That's just like a personal thing for me. But if any one of those people that you listed were lizard people, it would totally be Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
Madonna
Maybe.
for sure would be a lizard person.
But if she's going to be the lizard like queen with Queen Elizabeth, I'm okay with that. I like them. I'm okay with that. I wouldn't be opposed if they came out and they're like, yo, we're going to take over the world and it's going to be Queen Elizabeth and Madonna. I'd be like, okay, it could be worse. We live in 2020 right now. So
do you think we would have corgis everywhere if Queen Elizabeth took over?
Well, she certainly wouldn't have cats, so.
That's why she has corgis.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, good point.
But I could get down with having a million corgis.
It'd be fun. They're fun dogs.
I mean, same.
Running across open plains, herds of them.
Packs of wild corgis.
Yep.
Could you just imagine like a herd of Thorgies like running everywhere?
Oh my
I'd be
gosh.
down. See, I don't think it would be that bad. It's fine. Also, if these reptilian humanoids have been living here this long, don't you think 2020 is the year that they're like, okay, this is enough. Y'all have just screwed up the world too much. We need to take over. We need to fix it.
Yeah, maybe.
Now we know what's going to happen in August.
Oh,
Lizard
man.
people.
God.
I thought we were going to maybe start getting like a little better, but no.
And this episode will post in August, so maybe I'm predicting the future.
Ooh, Ben, are you also a time traveler?
It's like you have ESPN or something.
Well, it's funny that you say that because next week I'm talking about time travel.
And it's funny because he has the most knowledge from being a time traveler. So.
I'm actually just going to read you my diary.
Oh, I just thought you were going to read us like a script from Doctor Who.
Next week, Ben is going to be the moderator, and I am going to take a break because
you miss playing.
I miss playing Catan, and honestly, y'all, after doing this one, I really didn't get too deep in this. I kind of like barely touched the surface on stuff because
it was scary.
It was scary. Like it was just I went to the like very deep, dark, twisty corners of the internet. Because there are a lot of really kind of scary conspiracy websites and they're really hateful. There's a lot of kind of like scary stuff that comes along with some of these more bizarre conspiracy theories. So my Facebook algorithm will never be the same again. Like I am going to start getting some really outrageous ads and like Amazon ads for like weird things and like
maybe they'll suggest like a lizard costume for you for Halloween.
I mean, maybe.
Yes.
It was just really dark and it was interesting to read, but like I need a break for a week from conspiracy theories. So Ben, like feel free to be as weird and twisty as you want, but this was a heavy topic and I kind of like I don't know.
We've been rolling like nothing but sevens.
Yeah,
now,
again.
all of a sudden, and it's like
that's because CJ's about to win.
He only needs one more point. But yeah, I don't know. I need a break from conspiracy theories because to me it was really weird.
It was a bit weird. And what's even weirder to me though is, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but it's just the number of people that actually believe in this and like lizard people. It's like, but really? Like Obama swatting a fly means that he's a lizard? Like, come on, like I tried to do that as a kid. I'm pretty sure I'm not a lizard unless someone has told me something. Hasn't told me something.
But how many times have you actually hit the fly?
Well, several times whenever I was a kid and I kept trying. And I was actually in karate and so practicing like my hand-eye coordination. Now my hand-eye coordination just sucks.
When you flail enough, you can hit anything.
True.
I mean, and Katie is not wrong.
I could have gotten into more detail. I didn't want to because I didn't want to read any more on these like really crazy websites. Also, a lot of the websites and like really diehard conspiracy theorists are very, very super duper far right. Like more far right than, than average people. Like even people that claim to be far right. Like these are like militant far right people that are just really hateful. And not all of them, but some of the sites I found, like they were really hateful and like not very nice to read and it made me uncomfortable.
So is there anything else, though, about lizard people? Because we still have to finish the game. And this is the first time that we have finished, I think, your topics rather than the
It's
game.
true. We actually finished this before the game was over, which
I just think it's odd that people think that we have consecutively chosen a president that is a lizard person. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it implies that we didn't actually choose them.
yeah. It's more of like they're put in place.
And the head guy, David Icke, said that Trump isn't a lizard person, though. So, like, we haven't actually chosen, like, consecutive people, supposedly. If you
Well,
believe...
by
well,
popular
yeah,
vote,
there
we
was the
did.
Clintons, the Bushes, and Obama.
I guess
That's
that
what
was
they
3 in
said,
a row.
and they're all been recent presidents.
4 in a row.
You know, out of all of these things that we've done so far, our 3 topics, this one I think is the most outrageous. I think the Denver one is kind of funny. And if I had to pick one to believe, I would believe flat Earth. Out of these 3
Really?
things, I think
I would definitely believe Denver Airport.
I would definitely believe Denver Airport as well.
I think the Denver Airport one is silly. I think a lot of that stuff is silly. I do. Because
You don't
the lizards,
look at paintings backwards?
no.
I also don't really read into paintings, but there's still...
No,
and CJ won.
I win.
CJ is the winner.
Man.
There is still, though, more of the Denver airport, I believe, than the other Flat Earth and this one, Lizard People. Why is there a Freemason, like, time capsule there? I don't know.
There's a lot more to it than what meets the eye. So I think if any of these were to be true, it would be that one.
You know, like, I don't think I'm passionate enough about the Earth being round that I would argue. Like, I'm not passionate
fair.
about that.
You're not pressed about it.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know what? I live on the Earth and I am like living my life and doing what I need to do to survive every day. So do I really care if it's round or flat? No, I don't. Who cares? I don't care. Do I really care if there are underground bunkers under the airport? Maybe if they're full of lizards. I don't like lizards, but you know.
Real quick, I'm going to go over the dice stats because I think it's quite interesting. There were
That's hilarious.
19 sevens rolled.
Mm-hmm.
Only?
Yeah, there were only 19
Only
sevens.
19?
I rolled 6 of those.
You did.
There
Jasmine
were
rolled
more
7.
sevens rolled than any other number.
Yes.
That's true. Jasmine rolled 5 of them. No,
I
CJ rolled
rolled
5,
five.
Jasmine rolled 7, and Ben rolled 1. And then the next highest number rolled was a 4. And then after that, they get, it was an 8 and then a 5. So I really think those little dots and the red numbers mean nothing.
I truly think they mean nothing.
Because it also
as
said
well.
that you didn't roll any 9s, right?
No, we rolled
Did
6
it say
nines.
0?
Yeah.
No, 9 says 0.
No, that's me.
Oh, that's how many you rolled.
There's a pretty high probability that you would roll a 7 anyway,
Yeah.
because
That's true.
that would be
Right.
1 out of 6.
7 is
so
probably
1/6 of all of them.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the end of the game real quick. So CJ won. Yay.
Yay.
He had 14 victory points also and did not have longest road or largest army.
Good
No, I
job,
did not.
CJ.
So CJ won all by himself.
Yeah, what up?
Yeah.
Because he's a
Beast.
lizard.
Yes, that is exactly
That
why.
is why.
You control the world. You control Catan't. You lizard.
And then Jasmine and Ben were next with 11 points. And then I was in last with 7 victory points, but I did have longest road. So there was that.
Nice.
And no one had largest army this game.
That'll
Yeah.
change next week. I'll have largest army and longest road, and I'll still lose. It'll be great. That's my prediction.
Well, you never know. You will probably win. Because of that, you will now probably win within the first 5 minutes of next week.
I'm ready to hear about your time travelers. Have you already started reading or do you already know everything about time traveling? Because
Well, time traveling is a really large topic.
So we
Yes,
can
it
is.
discuss exactly what we're going to discuss in the after show then.
that's true.
So
Well,
you
let's
should
wrap
definitely.
it up and get to the after show. So we got our stats from the game. Maegan, do you want to share anything about our Patreon?
We do have a Patreon if you want to show your support and help us keep doing this podcast thing. There are 4 tiers that all include access to our Discord and a shout out on the podcast and in the credits of the YouTube video. After the podcast, we chit chat about the next episode and more. which we release to the supporters that choose the Captain, Knight, or Settler tiers. The Captain and Knights can also listen to our show live on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. CDT. Again, thanks to our patrons. To hear the after show and previous after shows, go to patreon.com/CatantPod and become at least a settler. Thanks for listening. Make sure to like, heart, star, favorite, and leave us a review wherever you can. Don't forget, you can also watch the game we just played on our YouTube page, Settlers of Catan't Even. Now, let's go around this virtual table here and talk about where you can find us. Katie, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Katie11318.
And Ben?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at bfelts91 or over on my website at benjaminfelts.com.
Ben is super duper talented and made our music for the podcast. So if you need any type of music made, whether that's for podcasting or whatever, I'm sure he can help you. So go ahead and hit him up if you do. Jasmine, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at PrincessJasmine14 and on Twitter _SnoopJazzyJazz.
And CJ, where can we find you?
You guys can currently find me on Instagram at ClevengerCJ, and it will be in the description.
And finally, you can find me at Maegan Wilson _ on Twitter and the Instagrams. It's linked in the show notes because my name is super hard to spell. Thanks again, everyone, and we will be back soon with more Catan and conversation.
Bye.
Bye.